What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today we were going to talk about the best and worst tattoo TikToks I could find. Let's jump into it. Okay. First trend we got going on is bottom of the foot tattoos, dudes. I've never seen bottom of the foot feet tattoos, and all of a sudden, my feed is just filled with them. This one's executed pretty well. It's a plankton from SpongeBob. I like the tattoo, it's fine. The thing is, most tattoos on the bottom of the feet aren't gonna last. That is just a fact. And so many people are doing it, and I'm always like, that's probably really painful, and I'm never really sure why people are doing it, except for the Instagram algorithm. But this is actually executed pretty well for the bottom of the foot. Again, doesn't really matter, most of it's not gonna stay. But yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. I just couldn't imagine getting the bottom of my foot tattooed. Like, it's gotta be excruciating just having someone like trying to get through all the layers of dead skin to get this tattoo to stick in. You're just hammering the living shit out of that tattoo. And man, the results are just gonna be like, not worth it. Not worth it at all. Okay, I've got a doozy for you. The moment I saw this, I was so excited. I couldn't fucking wait to talk about it. What the fuck? What is coming out of this dude's neck? This has very little things to do with tattooing, except for the fact that he put a tattoo right on his neck so he could do this weird fucking thing and get some splooge on his fingers. It's disturbing, it's disgusting, and it's bizarre. The thing is, this guy has dedicated his whole life to this goopy venom stuff that comes out of his neck. And so he put a scorpion tattoo there just so he could run his fingers along it and get this goop to come out of his neck. I did some deep diving. Might be the only time I've ever Googled anything for this channel. And I found out that you could have like this fucking juice come out of your neck. You're born with this like thing. I don't know. I Googled it, I still have no clue. But what I do know is that this guy's whole image and life is dedicated to running his finger along his tattoo and getting this goop to come out. This one creeped me out. This is one of the most bizarre things to do with tattooing I've ever seen. Not that it's like super, tattoo-y, but Jesus Christ, it's wild. Crazy. On to the next, now that all of our stomachs hurt. Okay, I've got a feeling some of you guys are gonna love this dude, and some of you guys are gonna be like, this is not for me. And that is perfectly fine. But I absolutely love this guy's work. His name is Ruko. I don't know where he's from. I'm sure Europe somewhere. But man, does he do really awesome, interesting tattoos. Almost everything he does is drawn on, and it looks very much like this, like these weird face character things. And they always are huge and way oversized, and I just love the way it looks. And that's it, completely outlined. I just get down on it. And in case you're wondering of like what that final tattoo is gonna look like all shaded and stuff, this is a good example. Yeah, like see this big, massive, weird face? Dude, sometimes in tattooing, I like really artsy-fartsy stuff that is technically applied really well, and that's what I'm looking at here, is like really, out there type of tattooing. This ain't your skull and eagle type of bullshit. This is intricate, weird characters that almost have like this own fantastical world and vibrancy that he creates. And I'm just like, I love it. It's interesting. And I like that it is weird and interesting, but the tattoo is applied so well. And that to me is exactly what real good artsy-fartsy tattooing can look like. So on to the next.
Can somebody tell me if this is going to need to be touched up after it heals? Cause like, half of my tattoos in the cut. Like, is that gonna have to get touched up or no?
Okay, let me answer the question for you. Yes, that is gonna for sure need to be touched up. Any cut that's that deep and that gnarly around a tattoo, there's like a 99% chance you're gonna have to touch it up. I've had a couple tattoos like on my arm where I've eaten shit, skateboarding or surfing or doing anything like that, and they've had to get touched up, or they were fucked up and I just never got them touched up. And they were way less gnarly than this tattoo. Yeah, I can't imagine that not needing to be touched up. It just doesn't seem likely, but who knows? Sometimes in tattooing, things are weird, and sometimes things that you think are for sure are sometimes not. And maybe that might heal up perfectly, but I doubt it. Okay.
A load of this.
First time?
A little bit, yeah, dude.
Very experienced. I love you, Steve-O.
I love you, Austin.
Alright, let's party hardy. I'm gonna start with the part closest to your eye.
I would say start the balls.
Okay.
Yeah, that's...
You got it. You ready?
Yep.
I'm shaking. Oh, you okay?
Yep.
Now you're styling, boy. You're styling. Let's go.
Yeah, dude.
Wow, that was a commitment by Steve-O. I don't think anyone's surprised that Steve-O is stupid enough to put a dick on his eye. Luckily for him, like looking at the final results, it's gonna be a super easy tattoo to laser off. Anything like thin and on the face like that, you're gonna have no problem lasering it away. Also, Post Malone doesn't know how to lay down a tattoo, so like it's pretty much gonna be falling out anyways. I got a couple thoughts. I don't know what my thoughts are. Let me think about my thoughts. One, it's stupid. Two, I hope other people aren't as stupid to do the same thing. Three, I don't think most people are that stupid. So, you know, usually sometimes I get like kind of like upset when I see these jabronis put shit on their face. But I don't think in this case, like it's clearly a stunt. He's clearly not promoting other idiots to get shit tattooed on their face. So yeah, it doesn't really do anything for me. It just makes me think, goofy. And also, it drives me really crazy because if you zoom in on this tattoo, I could have drawn such a better dick than that. That is so not, like that could be a telephone or a cucumber or a fucking weird looking penis. Don't look like my penis. And I wish they would have done a better job drawing it on. But hey, you know, who expects anything from Post Malone, dude? I don't expect him to be able to draw the best dick ever. Yeah, on to the next. This is Fagan Opt Tattoo. And I just want to watch it with you guys. Let's enjoy it together, you know? Very nice. I like how dark he left it. And then also how light he left it in certain spots. Yeah, let's talk about tattooing for a moment. Sometimes when I watch people's Instagrams and TikToks and all this shit, and like I'm also part of this, like I create content talking about tattoos, sometimes I just go like, fuck, everyone's trying so hard to get some attention, and I get it because as like a tattooer, we just have to do this. And like, it's exhausting. Like I know for you, a lot of you guys who have enough people on Instagram, watching a bunch of bullshit from a bunch of bullshit tattooers gets so fucking boring. And then when I see something like this from this guy, Fagan Opt, that's getting a lot of views and is just like straightforward, cool tattooing, it makes me like, it's like a breath of fresh air. Like I don't have to see some fucking tattooer's face. I don't have to like think about what they're thinking about. It's just nice to see it. And like, I know all of you guys are like, Kirk, you're that guy, bro. What are you fucking talking about? And I'm like, I know it, dudes. I'm not saying I'm not the guy. I'm the fucking guy who puts his face out there, talks some shit, and fucking says what he needs to say. But man, sometimes I wish the world would just be like, you're great at tattooing, but they're not. So we have to do all this other shit. And that's what I thought about. Like, it was just fun to watch some good tattooing, some time lapse, like some shit that would have been like popping when Instagram first came out. Yeah, just cool. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you guys. We are well on our way to 50,000 subs. And if you guys don't mind liking and subscribing to the channel, the more people we get in our community, the less shitty tattoos are out in the world. So thank you so much. On to the next. Fuck, I hate this. Okay, let's go for a speed round. All the things I could say that I don't like about this. Okay, first off, anything on the side of the fingers, never gonna last more than a couple weeks. It's either gonna be blown out or it's gonna fall out, and no one likes either one of those results. Two, anything that is red outlined, never gonna look very good, and you can double that up for the side of the finger. Like if things are blown out or falling out on the side of the finger, if it's outlined in all red, there's 100% more likely chance that it's gonna fall out or blow out. Three, anything that is like a couple tattoo that you have to be in a certain position to look right, never looks good when they're not standing next to each other or doing these weird fucking position things. So like a half a heart just looks like a scoop of something. I don't know what, just like a nothing, an outline of nothing. Four, touching your fucking grimy ass tattoos together. I don't care how in love you are, gross. gross. And 5, but there's probably 5 more things that I hate about this. I'm not supportive. I'm the opposite of supportive. I'm not supportive. Fuck, I hate them. On to the next. Okay.
Is this design exactly the same as this design?
Yes, those things are exactly the same. One was tattooed more traditional, fine. But let's talk about it. Let's hear what she's got to say.
Before we vote on it, let me tell you how we got here. A new client reached out to me asking if I could fix up a tattoo that she got done elsewhere. Now, when I saw a photo of the tattoo in question, I could not believe my eyes. This was a tattoo design that I did for one of my clients back in October of 2023 for my Halloween spooky tattoo special. This video that you're watching right now is the tattoo that I did back in October, and look at it, it's so pretty. It's still one of my favorite tattoos that I've done.
Very pretty, delicate tattoo. There's no doubt about that.
Maybe they added some color to this one, and maybe the overall style is more traditional where mine is more realism, but other than that, like, everything is in the same placement.
Okay, so yes, that's very much more traditional. It's slightly different, but it's overall the same exact thing. There's a few things that I want to touch on here. First off, how much do I care? I don't. There's a number of reasons why you can, like, you know, say that I'm wrong about this. First off, I'm a traditional tattooer. We still shit all the time, but even more so, if I made a design and someone stole it verbatim and tattooed it on someone else, I don't think I would care that much. And no, I know I wouldn't care that much. I'd be like, oh, weird, whatever. That's about this amount of thought I would put into it. I definitely wouldn't make a reel about it, but I also understand why she might be like, this sucks. But at the end of the day, I still don't care. Let's hear some more.
Maybe they added some color to this one, and maybe the overall style is more traditional where mine is more realism. But other than that, like, everything is in the same placement. I feel like I'm in an episode of The Office right now. You know, corporate needs you to find the difference between these two pictures. They're the same picture. So what do you think? Did this artist change the design enough to make it their own?
Okay, sometimes in tattooing, people will, like, at a walk-in shop, like just a regular shop, like the one we're sitting in here currently, people will bring me stuff and they're like, hey, I want this tattoo. And you're like, okay, cool. And they're like, make it your own. And you're like, how the fuck am I supposed to make a rose coming out of a skeleton with like a square that has a heart, and then I want this moth with some moons and this nevermore underneath it? And you're left being like, how do I change this in any fucking way? And I can maybe like rearrange some parts of it. Sometimes as a tattooer, you're pigeonholed into this position of being like, either I say no to the tattoo or I do the tattoo and it looks almost exactly the same. And as a tattooer, this might be super unpopular, but I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. Steal the design. I don't care. You can't convince me to care. There's no part of it that could care. I know. Like, I care more about the client who's in my personal space than the client who's somewhere out there in the world. I think that you can fight me on that one all day, and I may be completely wrong here. I just don't care. Steal it, run it, you put it on the internet, someone else is probably gonna get it tattooed if they like it enough, you know. I don't have a good thing to say about it. I guess because in my head I'm like, I'd rather the tattooer say yes and make the money and a client walk out that's happy than like worrying about some client who's already got the tattoo and like this, like, you know. I just don't think that we should care that much when people steal stuff about art, because like still at the end of the day, someone had to make the tattoo. Maybe you're sitting at home being like, well, Kirk, you're just not creative enough to feel like you have some ownership over the designs you make. And hey, then yeah, maybe that's the case. But yeah, I don't care. On to the next. Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there and say that, like you, I was pissed at this point. Dude, this person rage baited me hard. I was like, fuck this person, fuck this thing, this fucking purple bullshit, I hate it, what the fuck are we doing? And then you watch it some more, and I was like, oh, I'm a dick. Because that's a beautiful, nice tattoo done in black and gray. Great tattoo, love them. You guys know, I was like losing my shit for a moment. I was like, I cannot wait to make a video about it. And then I saw it and I was like, I am embarrassed. I am embarrassed for myself. But that's it. A very nice, beautiful tattoo. Great cover up. Good for you, NG Ring Vian. You got me. I appreciate you. On to the next. So it says, the guys at the tattoo shop will really roast you for anything.
Son, I love you. I'll see you soon, okay?
This nigga's a good dad.
This nigga's a good dad. This nigga's a nurturing provider.
A nurturing provider. I love this. You know, if you've never been in a tattoo shop, look, you go into the back of the tattoo shop, and if there's a group of tattooers, everyone is talking shit to each other. Everyone's talking shit to each other. Everyone's making fun of each other. Everyone's making fun of the clients. Everyone's making fun of everything. This is just how tattoo shops work. And it's honestly one of my fucking favorite things about working in a tattoo shop, because I can just get down on shit talking and fucking around and goofing off with the homies. And I like laughing at jokes about people, about things, about everything. I hope for all of your guys' sake that you have friends who are tattooers, or you make friends with the tattooers you work with, or that you get tattooed by and you realize that like this type of banter is just fun. And obviously there's like bad banter and bad shit that gets said at tattoo shops too. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the good stuff, the fun stuff, the shit talking, all the good stuff. Okay, on to the next. If you have a pimple and you're getting your tattooed by me, I am popping that pimple. Like if it's in my space, if you're working on your back and you have a big old back pimple, I'm popping that shit. Don't give a fuck. I'm gonna pretend like I'm doing something else. I'm like, oh yeah. Gross. And then I'm gonna get all sick and I'm gonna be like, because it's disgusting when all the pus comes out and stuff, and I'm like, and then I'm gonna be like happy. Happy inside because I popped that giant gross pimple you got on your back and it makes me happy. And then I saw this beautiful tattoo that was attached to the pimple popping thing. And I was like, holy shit, that's a very nice tattoo. So that's why we're gonna talk about it today. Wow. Just intricate, just complex, way different than anything I would ever want to tattoo, because I don't necessarily like being caught up in patterns and designs like that. And I think that the color combinations that you have to like understand and be aware of here is really difficult, and I'm just not interested in it, and I am very impressed by this tattoo. Very beautiful. I love how big and gnarly it is. Dung Tran .129, very good. Super cool tattooing. On to the next. The emotional pain must be next level. Okay. Yeah, I would imagine he is going through a dark time in his life. I'm not gonna comment too much on that part of it because I find that part boring. But let's talk about the blood drop thing. Okay, first off, I would never tattoo red on a person's face like that. One is because that is gonna eventually fade enough to where it's gonna be difficult to understand what is actually happening on the face. You're just gonna see kind of like splotchy redness on the person's face. And then to try and put white in these to highlight different things, not gonna look good. You should have used black. And honestly, if it was me and someone came in and they were like, hey, I wanna put these on my face, I'd be like, okay, cool, I'm into it. I like it, I think that's cool. But you should have done like little bits and then like long, thin teardrops. Like instead of these like two towery looking things that are just like thick and not that nice looking. One, that's not how tear runs. Two, if you had mascara, like to try and match that would probably be more aesthetically appealing. And three, there's nothing else to say about it. I don't like it. But I hope this guy starts to feel better. And I will say his giant black lightning bolt on the face, that I get down on. I even actually like his lettering on the other side too. I just don't like the red mascara look. I think we could have done something cooler. On to the next. Bro, I immediately want to be like, why did he get this on his neck? Like he has no other tattoos, blah, 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 blah. If you fucking look like that, you can do whatever you want, okay? If you look like you could beat the shit out of me by staring at me, like your muscles are gonna pop out and beat the shit out of me while you're 10 feet across the room, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Most people don't get your neck tattooed first or like have it your only tattoo because it looks kind of goofy, but this guy can do what he wants. That's it. I appreciate you guys. I will see you in a few days.